Previously, Nothram and Cal arrived in Western via teleportation. The group went to get some basic supplies that they need for the Underdark, by which I mean Ceres took them to the best place she knew of to buy booze. Meanwhile, Aerith slipped off to roll mysterious investigation rolls. Then they moved on to buying spell components, which are obviously much less important than alcohol. Once the shopping was finished, Cal took Nothram to the archive of the Cobalt Soul so that they could do some research. Gwei and Aerith had an awkward conversation related to friendship and romance, while the others spent time in the library. Before going to bed, Iridian borrowed Ceres' necklace, the one that she received from Zero, so that he could attempt scrying on Zero's master. He found himself looking into a small cell in Vasselheim, where a hooded figure had carved hundreds of tally marks into the wall. The next morning, the group noticed that Gwei's hair had turned silver, which was apparently its natural color. They then decided to find a hair salon before going to the Underdark. The group gave Cal one of their gatestones so that they could join them once they were close to reaching the Annex, giving them time to do research instead of traipsing around the Underdark with Nothram. Iridian, Ceres, and Zallar studied the maps Cal brought them, while Arian, Aerith, and Gwei went in search of the salon. Arian and Aerith learned the spells needed to keep Gwei's hair dyed, turning Arian's white hair a deep plum in the process. The group then threw their poor DM for a loop by teleporting to Craghammer to enter the Underdark there instead of any of the more reasonable options that she'd been expecting. After arriving in the city, the group gave their names, and Ceres got to surprise everyone by saying her given name and a surname. Many dice were immediately rolled to see if it was her real name, but the results were inconclusive. Nothram headed into the Underdark, deciding to pass on signing their names in a ledger before leaving the city, which meant they would not be able to return through Craghammer. After a few hours of traveling, the group fought a ridiculous number of cave fissures, followed shortly afterwards by Aerith making friends with some fungi. And that's where we left off.